What's the secret to finding truth when making a documentary? I mean, is there anything that you say or do that helps you find it?
We could spend hours and hours and talk about truth in documentaries, because look, I'm a firm believer that all documentary filmmaking, all media, is inherently subjective. You shoot hundreds of hours of footage, only a couple of hours ends up in your final film. There are days you're not there to cover a story. You choose a camera angle. Every camera angle communicates a different emotion, potentially. You make thousands of editorial decisions. So what's guided me is that I am not looking for the capital truth, capital T truth of a situation, because I think truth is very elusive and subjective, depending on from what point of view you're looking at it from. What I look for in my films is an emotional truthfulness about the human condition or the subject that you're looking at. You know, in Paradise Lost, it becomes clear these guys were railroaded, but a different filmmaker would have possibly made a different film. So I think filmmakers who think that they're presenting the absolute truth about a particular subject, I have potential, you know, certain kinds of films, straightforward history, you know, I think it's more, you know, hitting the truth, whatever that means, is possible. But what I'm looking for are the emotional truthfulness of a situation. You know, the truth rises to the top if you allow both sides to have their say, treat the audience like a jury, and not pound a specific message over people's heads. It has always been the method that I've preferred. Even in this film, even though it's a film about denial and genocide, there's a section of the film in which those who don't believe the genocide took place, they're given a chance to air their views, and we allow the audience, you know, we allow the audience to make up their own minds about it. So to me, that's what I mean by emotional truthfulness. You air all sides of an issue. Don't pound a message over the viewer's head, and you let the truth rise to the top. In Crude, you know, some people were surprised that I allowed the executives from Chevron to give it, you know, to be interviewed and to present their point of view about the case. But I think I trust the audience to come to the right conclusion about the emotional truthfulness of the situation. And sometimes the emotional truthfulness of a situation is not necessarily what you think the film is about. You know, for example, in Crude, the indigenous rainforest dwellers of Ecuador and their American lawyers were, you know, making a case and suing Chevron for creating this cancer death zone the size of Rhode Island through bad drilling practices. Chevron was claiming that that's not the case, and the pollution that's there is the responsibility of the state oil company. Some people may think that I was making a film about the absolute truth of that situation. For me, the absolute truth of the situation, the emotional truth of the situation that I was trying to talk about, is that we are destroying the rainforest, that the people who, you know, most deserve to be treated well were being treated horribly, and that there was a whole other set of reasons I was making that film, to bring justice to these people. So sometimes the subjective truth of a situation is not always what the filmmaker is necessarily trying to, you know, present. At least that's how I look at it.